So of 2.5 years had one night stand, trying to work through it, but I really need advice. Please give me your best advice. I need friendly advice, please help. Here's the story and below are my questions. Me and my BF got together 7 months before COVID started. We were going to do long distance, traveling the world both in different countries for 6 months, but COVID made us come back home and we moved in each other, in hindsight way too early. We never used to fight, got along great, had fun, have the same values. We seemed pretty well set up for having a nice comfortable life together. Talking about our future together was never an issue. After a year of COVID he started a full-time job, stopped putting in effort. Silly me didn't really notice or didn't understand to ask. My so is terribly emotionally intelligent and didn't know to tell me something felt wrong. He went out 2.5 months ago when the clubs first opened after a really long time. I was a bit upset with him that night and told him I don't want him to get too wrecked. He told me he'd come home at 4 a.m. He didn't, so I was worried and tried to call. At 8 he calls me back and says he will come home, that he's still at his friend's house. He came home an hour later. But worried I had texted his friend and he said my BF had left hours ago. In the morning I confronted him. He said he met a girl and went to her house but they only kissed and didn't take off their clothes. He says he was wasted. He had been on the phone with me at her house and lied to me. I asked him multiple times and he didn't need anything else happened. We had time that day and I asked him if there was any chance at all he could have an STD and he said no. I have a history with abuse, so this is a sensitive subject. I left a couple days later for a 4-day trip and when I came back he confessed he had lied. He had had time with the girl and without seen him. He said he didn't know who she was. The next day he confessed he did find out who she was and had talked to her on the phone when I was away. He had told so many lies, violated our trust, me's timely in our relationship. He swears there is nothing more to it. That he lied because he was afraid of losing me. That he still wants to be with me. The reasons behind it he has later realized was that he was and still is a bit bored with our relationship. He apparently has commitment issues. He wanted to feel free. He wasn't thinking. He has never worked at a relationship before and has very unrealistic expectations of what a relationship should be. I on the other hand am terrible at setting boundaries, which I am trying to rectify now. He has a way lower libido than me and it has been an issue throughout our relationship. But maybe it's just me he doesn't want, is where my mind goes. But now we are trying to work it out. He's been putting in a lot of effort and trying his best, I think. I'm exhausted from working on it and being almost solely responsible for our mutual growth. I want to be with him if we can fix it and if he can change. Also, I have no time to be moving house, etc. The reason I am still here is because we've had a pretty good relationship before all that. I think Corona has contributed to the boredom, since we can't do anything fun anymore. But still, how can someone be so completely horrible towards someone they say that they love? So to my questions. 1. How do I trust him again? Should I? 2. How do I prevent eloping trust issues? 3. Should I with my BF's knowledge sleep with someone else to stop envisioning him with someone else? 4. Can things get better and should I stay? 5. Will he cheat again? To my knowledge this is the first time he's done it and he feels terrible. 6. Can he still be a good guy even though he did this to me and obviously didn't care how it would make me feel? 7. General advice on my situation? Thanks for your replies. And thanks for being gentle. I'm pretty fragile RN. Redditor's reaction story 2 after it's rough. Poor op. Redditor 1. I also just found out yesterday that my so of 3 years slept with his ex 1 month ago. So I confronted him last night and broke up with him. There are people in this world who are ready to love us as purely as we do them. Why settle for someone who can disregard you like that? Why throw away years together for one night of sex? I don't mind being hurt now knowing that I will be okay later. You need to ask yourself if this is really what you want. Reconciliation emo is way harder than moving on. So I am all for moving on. Op answer, terrible. So sorry to hear that you went through that. Thanks for the insight into your thought process, you seem really strong. RN moving on seems really hard. Redditor 2, he failed boyfriend basics. Put him on the curb. Redditor 3, he is so completely full of acid. He met up with someone he knew at a club, and they were going to have unprotected sex. He lied, and he still is. He didn't tell you because he didn't want to have to deal with the fallout it would cause him. You absolutely shouldn't trust him again, and sleeping with someone else won't do anything to fix that. I would suggest that if you rug sweep this, he lose respect for you and end up doing it again, but he already has no respect for you. End the relationship, get yourself an STD test and move on with your life. If you stay, be prepared for the next time you catch him. He'll know to hide it better. Op answer, thanks for your advice. I'm getting tested ASAP. It's true he didn't respect me or care. I don't think he would have told me if I hadn't found out. What you're saying hits hard. I want to believe him when he says he wouldn't do anything like that again because of the hopes and dreams we had together, but I might just be in denial. Shitty to be going through this. Redditor 4, he not only cheated but anyone that will willfully put my sexual health at risk with no regard for my safety or health is a hard no. Others will say otherwise, but this relationship is too short with too many red flags to survive. Op answer, I agree. It's the worst part for me really. A complete violation. Thanks for your advice. Update, I caught an STD because of her. Now she wants me back. I'm a 22M. 2 years into my relationship with my fiancée 20F, I started seeing symptoms of STD without having any other time outside our relationship. I was tested positive along with her and got treated. She didn't confess about anything back then, but I started seriously suspecting her despite that something inside me wanted to believe her lies. I started doubting everything she says, and finally on D-Day 1 I caught her with a big lie and was ready to break up with her. On D-Day she came to my house, but I refused to let her in. She called my best friend in panic, who advised her to confess about everything if she wants a chance with me. She told me that she wasn't in a birthday party yesterday and that she was seeing AP while I was calling her, but nothing happened. Then she confessed about a PA and having unprotected time once with him while being drunk. One day after, she confessed about other things like having time with AP at multiple instances. Then confessed that she did it with more than one AP and more than one time. She even confessed that she had group time when we broke up for a week last time. This was ugly, terrible and devastating. I've been very busy with work lately and didn't notice the change in her behavior. She started going to nightclubs with her girlfriends multiple days a week, and all the lies she made me believe. The signs were there, but I didn't notice them. I'm deeply in pain. I felt that I didn't know her well. She always treated me very well. She was loving and affectionate. We had a very good time in our relationship, so I couldn't accept that she did all of that and was hanging out with all of those people. I felt like everything we lived was a lie. A fat big lie. We usually have a very good, satisfying and passionate time. But she seemed to have wanted to explore her timeality further. Since D-Day, she's been doing her best to get me back. She comes to my house crying every day. She's giving all sort of promises. She got a tattoo in her pubic area with my name on it, lol. She stated that she has the best and most enjoyable time only with me and that doesn't plan to have time with someone else ever again. She says she wants to change her behavior and that she wasn't aware of what she's doing. She told me she wants to get counseling for her problems and put the efforts needed to build the relationship again. But she didn't only cheat on me. She betrayed me. Made me catch that STD and didn't confess what she did. She didn't respect me by hiding all of those lies. She kept going forward with her lies and manipulating me into believing them until she couldn't do it anymore. Also, this wasn't her first lie. She lied to me 1 year ago when someone saw her with another guy and I believed her. I also feel that she didn't tell the complete truth this time neither. Now I understand that I'm a mature guy and she's still a college immature girl that might not know what she's doing. A part of me wants to give her another chance given her age and the bad social circle she was in, and also want to believe her this time. I know she's struggling with always needing to be validated. She seemed sincere in her apology and she seemed also regretful. I want to believe that at her core she's a good person, but she's flawed and I need to support her into improving herself. Maybe I could be more vigilant in the future? Maybe we can restart the relationship from scratch given that we love each other? Could we heal the trauma? Could we re-establish trust? Another part of me says it's really over and such hurt can never be forgiven. I'm almost sure that continuing with her will hurt my self-confidence more than what it already did. I'm afraid that every time I look into her I would remember all the lies and betrayal. Would it be worth it to keep going? It's really tough. I'm feeling deeply in pain. Feeling anger. Feeling excluded. Feeling that I don't know myself anymore. Feeling a lack of structure in my life and feeling all the time that I'm not good enough. The mental movie is repeating day long. I came here seeking some help and advice from this subreddit as I'm young and don't have much experience with all of this essay. Edit. Even though I will most likely leave her, I have a killing desire to know what exactly happened with all the nitty-gritty details. I want to reconstruct the past and know the truth before I can be peaceful again and get over it. Should I try to get this from her even through manipulation? Edit 2. Thank you all for the interaction with this post. I will definitely feel empowered with the decisions I'm gonna make. Also, small disclaimer, many of you have commented about the group S time part. She stated that this happened while we weren't in a relationship. We broke up a couple of times before. Edit 3. I didn't mention that at multiple stages in our relationship, I wasn't available to her because of work. I also didn't treat her well at multiple instances because of my own acid and insecurities I've been seeing and I see starting from last month just to fix my behavior. So I was a bad lover and boyfriend. I also understand what it means to be emotionally unhealthy and unaware of your own acid because I've been there 3 years ago and could have done the same thing. Now I'm a totally different person after years of self-improvement and I'm projecting the same thing on her. That's why I have a little bit of hope that she would improve her life. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1. Well, I'm mature and I do have experience in this. No matter what, do not listen to her. She is young. You cannot make her to be mature, especially when it comes to being in a committed relationship. All the crap she has done to you is for her and her alone. Don't be fooled. This I can say is for sure. She will cheat again. She will tell everyone how she gaslighted you, how she will use you. This is for certain. You are not there to fix her. That's her job. Look at her past, use it. Tell her it's over and block her. He'll then move on. This you need to do. Op answer. I have a deep need to know exactly what she did, what happened and all the nitty-gritty details. Should I know this before blocking her and going away? Otherwise I would always have questions haunting me. Redditor 2. I felt that I didn't know her very well. You are definitely in the running for understatement of the year, Op. You didn't know her at all. If you don't want a seriously bad and troubled life, you will give her a very, very wide berth. She's not just playing away, Op. She is prolific. Ghost. Block. NC and move on. Don't check SM and don't look back. Do all of this today, Op. You will never regret it. Good luck. Redditor 3. You're foolish to think that just a few words will change her. If she wants to truly change, take a break for a few months, let her work on herself by getting real help, not foolish words and stupid acts like tattoos. She isn't solving anything and cheaters have a few of returning to old habits once things settle down. Redditor follow up. Take a break for a few months. Few months? Hell, she will duck half the town in that amount of time. Redditor 4. Op. My take on this is that at the very least, your fiancée isn't ready to settle down. From what you've written here, she sounds like someone who has some serious mental health issues that, unless you are a trained therapist, are above your ability to assist. My advice is to break up with her. It will be hard at first, you will be lonely, you will mourn the loss of someone you cared about. But, in the end, you will be better for it. No one deserves to be lied to like she has lied to you. I also think that breaking up with her will be good for her, too. She needs to know that lying to her so has consequences. If you take her back, she will learn that she can get away with cheating. You're 22. Take some time to be single, learn about you, engage in some hobbies, activities, causes that you're interested in. You will become even better for it. Godspeed, Op. Redditor 5. I am sure the other guys that she is laying up with in the future will get a kick out of seeing your name tattooed there. It is not a laughing matter, it is disrespectful and pathetic. You cannot actually believe that a girl that has engaged in group S time behind your back and gave you an STD while continuing to sleep with the guy that gave it to her is wife material? She is not even someone you should have a one-time hookup with. Don't believe any of the nonsense she will say to get her way. Show some respect for yourself, ghost her, delete her from your social media, block her number and get her out of your life. She knows exactly what she is doing and belongs to the streets while she is playing you for a fool. Let her be someone else's problem while you move on. Believe me, she has set the bar very low and it will not be difficult to find better. Redditor 6, I didn't mention that at multiple stages in our relationship, I wasn't available to her because of work. I also didn't treat her well at multiple instances because of my own acid and insecurities I've been seeing and I see starting from last month's juice to fix my behavior. So I was a bad lover and boyfriend. I also understand what it means to be emotionally unhealthy and unaware of your own acid because I've been there 3 years ago and could have done the same thing. Now I'm a totally different person after years of self-improvement and I'm projecting the same thing on her. That's why I have a little bit of hope that she would improve her life. No matter what you did, you are not to blame for her cheating. She did that on her own. Stop accepting the blame shifting all cheaters use to justify their cheating. That's all on her.